Hey, how's everybody going this morning or this evening or this afternoon, whatever you guys are? Well, I have a ponytail today and it's cloudy outside, but I don't care. I still want to film. But in this video, I'm going to show you, let me tell you guys something. I want to show you the differences between the pre and post fader effects or pre and post effects. I know you've seen this when you're trying to load effects and you get a little bit confused. What's the difference between pre and post when it comes with putting effects? So when I try to use compare with pre and post, you can notice some difference. It's not just only like side chains and everything. The simple thing that I notice is the different sounds when it comes with the pre and post. But the easy part to notice is when I use the Reverb plugin. So my hands are getting really tired, so without further ado, let's go right into the Nuendo screen. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to show you what's the difference between the pre and post fader effects. So I'm working on this song, mixing with Dolby Atmos. Probably I will do a future tutorial about this guy right here. You know, how to set this thing up, okay? So here's the sound first of all, before I get into it. Okay, so as you can see, the CPUs just increased a lot, but I want to be working on the difference between the pre and post fader. So how it is, with the pre and post fader, I'm going to do first of all the guitar one. Okay, so let me go ahead and get the lead guitar. I am using this Nexus 2 factory preset, which I'm using the guitar fuzz as the lead guitar. And as you can see, there's difference between the pre and post fader, okay? So when it comes with pre and post fader effects, you can see there's a green line coming out. This green line right here, which it separates the pre-fadings or the pre-effects and the post-effects. Okay, so I want to turn off all the included delay and reverb, and I want to find a way to add, for example, Roomworks. I want to have a long reverb so that you guys can notice the difference between these guys, like between the pre and post effects. So if you put the answers in the pre section, you can see that this is blue. And if I go to the post fader slots, if I go down here past this green line, this is going to turn orange, which means it's part of the post fader effects. Okay? So what will happen is if I want to solo only the guitar, I want to have a long reverb so that you guys can know the difference. Okay, so I want to have a reverb. Let me have the metronome on first so that you guys can see. Okay, so this is the guitar. Well, I'm not going to use this one, but this is just for demonstration since I'm making this song. So, I'm going to go ahead and exit this out. I have the reverb, for example. So I'm going to click that E right here, which it gives me all the settings in this channel. So the pre, when it comes to using the pre effects, this is before it goes to the fader. Okay, so let me turn off the reading because otherwise it's gonna have to control itself. Okay, so if I have the pre on, this is before it goes to the fader. So as you can see, I just want to have the reverb to be fading out as long as possible. And here's what happens. Okay, you can see if I turn it down, the reverb that is fading out just follows it, okay? Which this is because I'm controlling the fader, and this is before it goes to the fader, okay? And if I decided to go to the post fader section, you know, the default effects is just gonna have this line right here. So you wanna make sure you keep an eye on this green line because, you know, I know some DAWs don't have these types, which Cubase, if you're a Cubase user, you probably have pre and post effects as well. So here's what happens if I put on a post fader effect, and you're gonna see what happens. So let me go ahead and go back to measure 25. Okay, in the reverb, as you can see, if I turn it down, the reverb is still going. Even if I play it, it's not making sound, even though I have the fader all the way down. But, you know, this is a very good game changing because I think the post fader is going to be very good for reverbs because, you know, if I want to fade out the instrument or something like that, like just by automating the mixer or the fader on this channel, like if I want to automate it down, you know, if I have the pre-effects, I will be able to have a fade out reverb. So what I can do, like if I do like a fade out, like if I want to automate the fade outs, okay, let me try it again. Let me do that again. If I do the fade out, you can see the reverb is going. Even though the volume is down, you can hear that reverb. And by the way, it's linked to Dolby Atmos, so you don't get this VO meter thingy. So, you know, I'm just soloing this track. But I can just show you the analyzer and just have my VO meter right here. I hope it kind of works, so. Okay. Okay, let me send it all the way down. As you can see, the VO meter is right there. That's because it's not doing anything with this VO meter because it's sent to the surround sound channel, and which is linked to Dolby Atmos. So let's do that again. Even though I'm moving this, it's not doing anything. You know, because this is a good thing. You know, if I go back to the pre, and if I just move this again with the fader really crazily, I do that, and the reverb, the fade out effect or the tail, like it just turning the volume up and down. So it's better to have a reverb in the post fader because that will probably help. Because when it comes to like fading out the volume or fading out the instrument a little bit, and you just want to let the reverb go all the way, this is a good thing to have a post effects because you can notice a big difference between that. So now let me go ahead and discard this. Let me put it back to where it was. So let me go ahead and go to the next channel. And this is where the one that includes the RoomWorks or a reverb send. Okay? So now I want to talk about the send with the pre and post fader send effect. Okay, so as you can see, I have an effects track that is already linked in, which it is in the effects channels, which is RoomWorks SE, right here, and a pre-fader. Well, post fader is a little different, but I'm using RoomWorks SE. I want to have a long reverb I want to have a long reverb, okay? And the mix is 100%. So I want to see what happens if we have it on pre-fader, okay? So the pre-fader is labeled as orange. Pretty much in Cubase it's a little different. So let me go ahead and play this part. If I turn it down, it's not doing anything. The reason why, it's because it is in the pre-fader section. So if you want to change that, you just have to click that little satellite icon. You know, that TV satellite symbol that, it looks like a TV antenna symbol. If I click that, it's going to invert the other way. And what if I keep that? You can see it's a lot of difference. And as you can see, the reverb that I have, is very loud. Okay, I have it on multi-tap delay. When I'm choosing RoomWorks SC. Well, but there's no volume for that. But you will have to use the volume to turn it down right here. Okay? So if I go back, you can see the difference. Okay, let's go back to the pre. It's pretty cool. So now what happens if I just if I mute it like this? Give me a second. Yeah, I want to mute this part, but I can't because it's on solo. But what if I turn it all the way down? Let's see what happens. Even though I have this turned down and it's set as post fader, it will still go on to the reverb. It will still make that reverb channel to go on. Because if it's on post fader, this is going to skip the fader. Which having the volume all the way up, this will only be the dry sound. With a multi-tap delay on it. Okay, so with the post fader, that just skips the fader. And it will just go immediately to the sound effects that it's linked to, which is RoomWorks I see right here. So if I have that, let's try it again. As you can see, the reverb is still going. Okay? So you know the difference, huh? You know the difference between pre and post fader, right? So I'm just using the reverb for demonstration because this one is probably pretty good for that when it comes with music and post-production, everything like that. Okay? Of course, I talked about a little bit with a pre and post fader, but that was when I sidechained with the plugin called Voice Designer. Okay, so let me show you what Voice Designer looks like. If you guys did not watch that Voice Designer, this is Voice Designer. This is where you can do all these cool voice robotic type, including some like instruments, and you can just do something like that. It's pretty cool. So if you have not seen my how to voice design or walkthrough, I'll have the card on the top right corner. You guys can go ahead and watch it. So this is what it's all about with the difference between, how the pre and post fader effect works, including the sense. Okay, so it is a big game changing. So to people who want to use like some effect to just let it go all the way through, such as delay or reverb, whatever you choose, it's gonna be really cool. Alright, so if you guys agree, if you guys want to add more details, just give it a comment, and I will respond as best as I could. And before you guys leave, don't forget to subscribe. You have not been already. So I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day.